Go live, and you are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. Why does Washington Commanders 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody at all going to spend any time at all out there with me this evening? Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody wants to spend any time at all watching a replay of this. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You guys absolutely rock it. Greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, as I usually try to do. I'm going to shoot my mouth off. Anybody got anything to say, just throw it in the chat box. I usually check on the chat box like every 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, whatever. So anything that usually gets put in there, I always respond to. Right, so please feel free, fire away. And before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link, there's a link you can click on. It'll take you to like my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one's called the Gridiron. They got 3 different levels. There's 3 different, each one's got their own little perks to them and everything. There's loyalty badges, there's emojis. I got 4 emojis. There will be a 5th one eventually coming out. And the emojis, you can use them in the chat box or when you place a comment or something like that, So it's all pretty cool. So if anybody wants to help support my channel out there, it would absolutely mean the world to me. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please click that subscribe button below, right? And hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out or whatever, you'll be notified, and it's free charge. Okay. And then finally, there's in the description box below, there's 3 different links. Pretty much all have to do with like Facebook. The top link, okay, is the group that I have. It's called, oddly enough, called the Gridiron. Right now, we just got over 1,900 members. All right, it's been growing slowly, okay, but we got over 1,900 members in there. And the great thing about that is, I try to put like at least 5 things or so, if not more, every day in there, to keep stuff, fresh, every day. And not only is it me, but also, the thing about being a member is that, the members post stuff in there as well, too. So, I post stuff in there. And then the members post stuff. So, every day there's usually these 5 things, if not more, going in there. And so we just got up to like about 1,900 members, which is absolutely fantastic. So please click on that link and become a member. All right. And then also there's a link, there's 2 links underneath that. The bottom one is to a page I'm going to be getting more involved in as time goes by. Right now, between the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, the Facebook page, I'm just spending a lot of time on that. That's where a lot of my time and energy has been going. But the one down at the bottom is called This Day in Giants Football History. I'm going to get more involved in that as time goes by. But there's another one. It's a page that I have. Okay, it's called the Gridiron. It has over 1,000 followers. Okay. And it's 365 people liking it. And it's the same thing as with the page. Usually, like every day, I try to put like at least 5 things or so in there every day, trying to keep things fresh and everything. And what I try to do is what I put on a page, I don't put in the group for the most part. So I don't like commingle the stuff. So usually it's different things. Okay. So click on that one link for the page. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron, and like it and become a follower. And I said the same thing with the group. Click on that and become a member. Right. It's, I said, lots of stuff going in there every day in both the page and the group, and you won't be disappointed. It's free of charge. Right. And if you don't like it, you get your money back. Right. So all that being said, well, we got some, the news comes out, the injury update comes out Wednesdays. Okay. So today's the first day of the injury report. And, got a little theme, kind of like a little concussion kind of theme kind of going on here. We got a couple guys with concussions, right? One nice thing that I've been following and watching a lot for the most part, unlike last year. Like last year, it seemed like we had like a lot of soft. I mean, it was the year of the freaking hamstring. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Absolutely. I mean, like Joe Judge would come on and he would talk about, what we're doing, this and that, and this to prevent soft tissue injuries. And every time we're trying to prevent soft tissue injuries. And the next press conference, soft tissue injuries. We're trying to prevent them. And all we had it was the year of the hamstring. I mean, I even had a hamstring. I had a pulled hamstring. Reading the report on about how many guys had pulled hamstrings last year. I mean, it was just the year of the pulled hamstrings, right? So, I mean, at least this year, okay? I mean, thank God. I mean, because could you imagine how many freaking injuries as the Giants have? Could you simply freaking imagine if we had, the hamstring injuries that we had last year? I mean, could you imagine? I mean, how ungodly horrible it would be this year? So at least they're all like, broken bones and necks and stuff like that and everything like that. I mean, there's not a lot of hamstring kind of things kind of going on, right? But so Joshua Zudu, he did not participate today. He's got a neck. Adoree Jackson with his knee. He did not participate once again. Or no, maybe if we're lucky, we'll get him back before the end of the season. Shane Lemieux with his toe. Simply unfreaking believable. I mean, I can't. Some of these guys I just can't even talk about. I mean, he partially tore his patellar tendon last year in like training camp, like the second, third day. I mean, like I don't think it was non-contact or nothing like that. Just bam, partially tore it. No preseason games. He played 19 snaps in the first game of the season. Boom, out the whole rest of the year. This year, the same thing. I mean, like in training camp, did something, Lord, whatever it was to a toe, right? No preseason games. Basically participated, I think, in one game so far this year, and it's basically the season's over. I mean, it's simply amazing. Richie James, he's got a concussion, right? Jihad Ward, concussion. Julian Love, thank goodness they're resting him. And Dexter Lawrence, they're resting him as well. Okay, we had a couple guys limited in participation. Okay, Nick McLeod, he had an illness, so hopefully he'll be well by the weekend, hopefully. Leonard Williams with his neck. I mean, my goodness, we can certainly use him back. Daniel Bellinger with his ribs. Poor guy can't catch a break. I think it's no pun intended. The guy's always getting banged up. And, of course, this guy, Ellerson Smith, he's limited participation. He's got an Achilles. This guy can't stay healthy either. Some of these guys are just like, basically pretty much on thin ice because basically they just can't stay healthy. Ellerson Smith had a lot of hope for him. The outside linebacker position, right? Lots of length, absolute ideal for the position, the length and all that. I don't know these guys just can't stay healthy. Simply, absolutely, man, how they can go through college and play all the snaps and all the games and everything, and they come to the pros and they came in like, so I just can't even talk some of these guys. It's unbelievable. And Ellerson Smith's another one of those. He's not a Shane or Dable guy, hasn't proved nothing, absolutely nothing, and can't stay healthy. Same thing with Shane Lemieux. Really hasn't proven anything. He's not a Shane or Dable guy. He's proven he can't stay healthy. He's proven he can't participate in a game. Pretty much the same thing with Ellerson Smith. That's what he's proven. Okay. Just unbelievable. Some of these guys. Absolutely unbelievable. And then we got Micah McFadden had a neck and an ankle, but he was a participant, okay, in practice. Right. So nice little lengthy little list once again. Unfortunately for the Giants, the Commanders just had the bye week. Okay, so they're getting everybody's home drinking Kool-Aid and just laying down on the couch eating yodels and all that stuff and just everybody's getting healthy. So I'm dying to see how small their injury list is, and of course the Giants just seems to keep growing every week. Simply amazing. And of course the he'll probably be on a pitch count, which works out well for the Giants because they should be getting Chase Young back this week. Okay, now he'll be coming back. He'll be participating on grass for the Commanders. Okay, which I'm sure they did not want him to come back from his injury and participate on the Giants turf of death. Okay. But they'll be getting him back, but I'm sure he's not going to be out there. All right, Chase, you go play every down and we'll see you at the end of the game. No, I mean, we don't, maybe 20 snaps, maybe 30. So I highly doubt if he'll be in there much, which I said bids well for the Giants. It's not well who's going to be playing. I mean, you don't need to add any extra talent to that defensive front they got. Okay. But he'll be in there. Okay. But so the Giants, they're injury list. So we'll have to something to keep an eye on as we go forward. All right. Going into, the weekend. Thankfully, it's a late game. So the Giants have the, couple extra hours. It's not a 1:00 game when they got demolished by the Eagles last week. Be the late game. So at least have a few extra hours, right? So whatever, if that helps them out a little. I'll have to keep an eye on it. But so that's the early injury report so far. And I did see this also. Got 4 players that the Giants. Now this is this is article here from Fansided. Now, I have to agree with him, but it also just goes to show you, okay, is, where the Giants, where they are, who they're going to have, who they're not going to have, next year, obviously, some guys are going to be letting go. There were some guys are going to be cutting, like Kenny Golladay, he's gone. Some guys are not going to be re-signing, like probably Feliciano, some of those guys like that. But also just goes to show you, they got salary cap money and all that and everything. But that doesn't include Saquon Barkley. It doesn't include Daniel Jones or a quarterback, unless you include Tyrod Taylor. But now if it includes Tyrod Taylor, is he going to be the starter or is he going to be the backup? If he's going to be the backup, they need to go out and get sign a starter. If Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starter next year, I really don't think so. But if he's going to be the starter, they got to get themselves a backup. So they don't really have they only have one quarterback signed for next year. So, but as I said, it just goes to show you, the Giants will have some salary cap money, but, which is good. But they got, reason why they got some salary cap money is because, they need to sign some players. All right. And a lot of them, and some of the most of the money is going to go to either their draft class, which are going to probably have maybe 11 players that they have to sign, okay, or it's going to go to re-signing some of the players that are on the roster right now. All right. But the first one they got here is kind of interesting. It makes a lot of sense. And it's kind of be the same thing as it is this year, okay? And hopefully, with the new turf, hopefully it'll help out Sterling Shepard, okay? Because the guy lost his season 2 times, last 2 seasons against the Cowboys at home on MetLife Stadium turf. Okay, so hopefully with the new turf this year, hopefully maybe Sterling can make it through the whole season. That would be like a stone cold miracle. But this year, when they signed Sterling Shepard, it was still like a team friendly deal. It was very, very inexpensive. It was affordable, right? And it'd probably be the same thing here because Sterling wants to be here, right? Hopefully we can re-sign Saquon, but we're trying to build something here. I'm sure Sterling would like to be part of something like that. And it's not going to cost, I can't see a boatload of money, the guy just is injury prone, right? So they got here on fan side, they got 4 guys the Giants should try to re-sign. Okay, one is Sterling Shepard. While Sterling Shepard has sadly become very injury prone, the role as a mentor and a leader he plays on the Giants team cannot be underestimated. Hence why Shane must bring him back. The Giants receiving core as it currently stands is quite hard to look at. Yep. If Shepard can remain healthy, he will undoubtedly play a pivotal role going into next season. There's no doubt about it. Especially with him and Jones, they got the connection going on there. is Shepard going to take the top off the defense? No. Is he is he going to lead the league in receptions? No. Is he going to average 20-something yards a reception? No. Yeah. I mean, but the connection they got, with Jones and Shepard is tough to replace. Very reliable. If he goes out there and he's healthy, he's going to get 4, 5, 6 passes a game without question. And, somebody you really want to have on the field. Considering Shepard took a pay cut at the beginning of this season and even knocked a year off of his current deal, it is likely that he enjoys being in New York, regardless of how much he's being paid. Now, you can just see that. It seems like, he's definitely all in on the team. You can definitely. Shepard likely won't cost too much to retain considering his injury history. And if the Giants have the opportunity to bring him back on a short-term deal, they should not hesitate. Shep has been a fan favorite without question in recent years, and we know several Giants fans would not be happy to see him go, and I would be one of them. Even if the Giants do not wish to bring Shep back, they should also consider retaining Darius Slayton, who has done a very solid job considering the expectations surrounding him early in the season. So, I mean, I would like to see Shepard back, But, as I said, just think about that. We're not going to have Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton next year, right? So those are two guys, that even though we have cap money, okay, right? We're letting Kenny Golladay go. 105,000% positive he's gone, okay? It'll probably be after the June 1st. It'll be a post-June 1st cut, which means the Giants will save even more money when they cut him. But, we don't have Sterling Shepard. We don't have Darius Slayton, right? And we just traded Kadarius Toney, Mr. Hamstring away, right? So, so basically we have Wan'Dale Robinson. So if we don't bring back, if we don't sign, just throwing out there, OBJ, right? We don't have Sterling Shepard, so, right? Who are we going to throw the ball to? Right. So, I think Sterling Shepard getting him back on a very team favorable deal, right, would be huge without question. The other guy they got here, okay, is Nick Gates. Okay. Anyway, just thinking about that, right? We don't have him, right? Since returning from the gruesome leg injury he suffered in week 2, Nick Gates has played quite well for the Giants, considering that the Giants will likely be losing John Feliciano this offseason, a player the team should not resign. Shane should do his best work to bring Gates back on a team-friendly deal. The 2023 interior offensive line free agency class is rather weak. Alongside this, the Giants have several other positions they need to address, though, in the draft. So it may be a good idea to just simply bring Gates back. He's very flexible. You can put him at center. You can put him at guard. You can put him at tackle. Right? This season, Gates is the second highest pass blocking grade out of all the Giants' offensive linemen. In addition to this, he has had moments of excellence in the run game. Gates is far from perfect. However, he has played in just 6 games since returning from injury and is only 27 years old. He has still so much room to improve. Yeah, and a lot of it is you got to be out there. Coming back from an injury like that, of course he's in training and all that and everything, but, all of a sudden it's like there's no preseason, no nothing. There you go, Nick, go get him, Tiger. That's pretty tough, right? So for him to have the second highest pass blocking grade out of all the Giants offensive linemen is pretty freaking remarkable, okay? And I said, if there's ever a time the Giants can get 5 guys on the field game after game after game after game, they build that continuity together, it would be huge. But for one reason or the other, Giants always, I don't know how many offensive line combinations the Giants have had this year, but Andrew Thomas missed a game or 2, right? Left guard, my goodness, how many guys have we had play left guard? Gates played center, Feliciano played center. I think Glowinski, was he the only one that's played all the games? Maybe at right guard. But left tackle, we've had multiple guys at left tackle too. And I said, I mean, this is one thing I brought up, like with the Eagles. Okay, one of the things that very good team. There's no denying without question. They have a very, very good team without question. Okay, but I said one of the things is like with their offensive line, and their 5 starting offensive linemen. They played before they played the Giants last week. Okay, the Eagles were 11-1, so they played 12 games. So each offensive lineman, they're all starting 5. Okay, each played 12. Just say 12, right? So that's a combined total of 60 games that those offensive linemen could have played. Out of a total of 60 games, those starting 5 for the Eagles played 59 of the 60 games, right? So that means there was only one game. One of the guys missed a game. I don't know why, but so basically 10 out of 11 games and last week. So you go, what, 11 out of 12 games, right? The Eagles, right? They've starting 5 for their offensive line. Played almost every game. Right, that's continuity. Plus, not to mention they got my Travis Kelce or Jason Kelce. I'm sorry, Travis. I got mixed up it. Jason Kelce. I mean, just some of the guys are just Lane Johnson. I mean, just phenomenal offensive linemen. These guys got. I think I heard like Lane Johnson hadn't given up a sack in 2.5 years. I think that's why we heard like nothing at all from Kayvon Thibodeau. Possibly. I mean, if that's where you got, I mean, just, so really, really good. Really, really good. But I mean, that's one thing. Certainly think about bringing back Nick Gates without question. Now, the other guy they got here, okay, they have is, which we need really, really be very important, is Julian Love. All right. We've had it's weird. We've had him 4 years already, right? He goes back to the Shermer era, right? Had last year with Shermer's last year, then 2 years with Judge, and now with Dable, right? So this is his 4th year. Now, I don't know what he's going to. Oh wait a minute, let's see. Do we have the? Do they have Julian Love? Oh, okay. Calculated market values according to Spot Track. Julian Love, $8 million. I mean, you have to sign that guy. I mean, the flexibility he has, I mean, it's just, without question. I mean, you have to bring him back. It says, after a couple of mediocre seasons in Big Apple, Julian Love has finally broken out and looks like a Pro Bowl caliber player. Well, I mean, because now he's on the field all the time. I mean, you got to remember, like last year, I mean, Logan Ryan, Jabrill Peppers, Xavier McKinney, right? Adoree Jackson, James Bradberry. I mean, Julian Love was kind of like, off in the backfield there. I mean, it was kind of like an afterthought, right? So he didn't play a lot, right? He wasn't playing all the time, but you just see what a valuable person he can be, team leader, right? So we got through 13 games played in 2022. Love has racked up 90 combined tackles, 2 interceptions, 26 stops, and 2 pass breakups. Love certainly has room to grow as a covered safety, but he has certainly made a noticeable jump this fall. What may be most impressive stat above Love is that with all the 90 of his tackles, he's only registered 3 missed tackles all season, which is huge. Love's ability as a tackler for his size and frame is truly special. According to Spot Track, Love has a market value of around $8 million a season. The Giants have the chance to pay him for his foreseeable future. Oh, yeah, they should capitalize it. Love is going to get better from here. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, if you put him, in a certain area and let him grow and, get better. Oh, yeah, absolutely. $8 million. But I'm saying, once again, I mean, you hear all these people saying they're going to have a lot of money, which is great, but there's a lot of guys we got to want to be signing, right? And then finally in this article from Fansided, they said 4 guys the Giants must resign. One of them is not Saquon. The last one, of course, Daniel Jones. Forget whether or not Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback or not. There are so many reasons as to why letting Jones go this offseason is not wise. For starters, the Giants are currently set to pick 23rd, meaning there's a good chance that no quarterback will be worth picking in that range unless they're going to trade up, give away their top pick for the next 75 years to move up into the top 5 or what, I mean, good luck there, right? I mean, the Houston Texans are just foaming at the mouth. They're like, which quarterback are we taking, right? So whoever the top quarterback is, according to the Texans, boom, gone. Okay, and I don't know if you could possibly give the Texans anything, that would make it worth their while to trade out of the top pick, right? So. While there's some potential studs like Anthony Richardson, is it really worth gambling the future of the team when there's so many other needs to be filled? That's the thing, is if you're going to gamble on a quarterback, you got to be right. I mean, you're better off, taking a position of need, right? Especially if you can get Daniel Jones back on a team-friendly deal, right? The Giants are possibly the worst linebacking core in all of NFL. Yep. They have, future receivers. Yeah and no. They have future receivers. Well, because when you have your 1,375th string wide receiver in there, I mean, you might as well have me out there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I'm out there, yeah, I'm a future receiver. So the Eagles don't have future receivers. Reason why? Well, because they're healthy, right? Their top wide receivers are healthy. If their top 19 receivers were all injured, okay, and they put their 20th, 21st, and 22nd string wide receivers out there, okay, they would be putrid too. But, I mean, the reason why the Giants is because they're injured. Plain and simple, okay? And a weak secondary. Their linebacker, I mean, they got to, it's interesting to see where they wind up going. They need a wide receiver. Now, they could certainly double up on wide. They could maybe double up on a tight end as well, too. Maybe get somebody to complement Daniel Bellinger as well, right? But, I mean, they can certainly double dip with wide receivers, pick one later on in the draft, get one in the first or second round. But it'd be interesting to see where they go. Did they get is there a sideline linebacker that they can take in the first round, so a tackling machine, quite possibly in the 20s. Yeah. Would there be a wide receiver there? Yep. But I mean, you can get a decent wide receiver in the second or third round. If you're going to get a real top quality linebacker, that might be more of a first round kind of pick. I mean, I said then they're going to certainly want to maybe add some depth to the offensive line, certainly get some depth to the secondary without question. But be interesting to see where they go. Jones has been playing rather well this season, considering how dreadful everything is around him. Imagine if the Giants use the cap space and draft picks they have to put a complete offense around him. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Maybe the Giants can let Jones go for a cheaper option like Teddy Bridgewater, but it's really only feasible option this offseason that would cost less than Jones. It really wouldn't make any sense at all to let Jones go to bring in a free agent that would likely be worse than 25 years old. To put it simply, there are far too many issues on the Giants to worry about other than quarterback. Now, is Daniel Jones a Patrick Mahomes or Josh? Nope. Okay. But, I mean, is he serviceable until you can find a solid pick? Yeah, I think so. I think he is. Now, I mean, just to go to show you, I mean, Daniel Jones, okay, he's been getting better. Now, I mean, this is, we got to keep this in mind too, all right? He was at Duke, so that's one offensive system. Then he spent 1 year with Shermer. That's another offensive system. Then he had 2 years with the Clapper, okay? So that's another offensive system. Now he's got the Dayball Kafka system. So basically in the past 5 years, he's had 4 offensive systems. All right. Kind of tough. I mean, you need to go back there as a quarterback and you don't think. You're just reacting. Right. I've seen a lot of some videos out there bashing Daniel Jones, understandably so, bashing him because they showed like a wide angle view and all that. And they showed Daniel Jones dropping back, and then they'll show like the last one I saw was, I think it was Darius Slayton was all open, wide open in the left, and Daniel Jones was like looking right over the middle to try to, was it Hodgins? I think it was trying to throw the ball too, but Slayton was like 15 yards or so down the field, wide open. There wasn't an eagle anywhere near him. Could have been like a pitch and catch kind of play. Didn't look that way. Didn't throw the ball. And I've seen there's other ones, but it's been other ones. But a lot of it, he's thinking. He's trying to get used to the system, right? Give him another year, right? Under the same system, right? He'll be thinking less. He'll be just reacting more. And some of those deep passes that are open down the field, he'll be throwing them. And with his talent as far as completing passes, if they're open down the field, he's going to hit them. I mean, that's one of the things. Daniel Jones, that's Danny Dimes. You don't get a nickname Danny Dimes because you have a beautiful touch on a 5-yard pass. No, Danny Dimes, you're dropping a dime, deep down the field. That's one thing he does. So give him another year, right? And he is what spot track got him at here? I think it was always what's he at spot track? Okay, $25 million, right? Give him a short deal. I keep hearing a lot. Maybe sign it to maybe a 3-year deal. Maybe we can get out after 2 years, right? Maybe like $25 million a year. Now, because it might be for some people might be hard to believe, okay, but if the Giants just let him go, the other teams out there are going to pick him up. Somebody else is going to pick him up. Now, I don't know if it's going to wind up, they're going to give him a big ass payday, but other teams are out there going to pick him up without question. Now, it might also be in his best favor to sign back with the Giants, okay? Because now this once again will be his second year in this system, right? And give him all off season, to study, right, and go over the plays and all that once again, and he'll get even better, right? And actually, if you give him some good receivers and actually stay healthy, right, just imagine what he can possibly do, right? Now, if he's going to go to another team, okay, so then we'll have, let's say, we'll have Duke, then we'll have Shermer, then we'll have the Clapper for 2 years, and then we'll have Kafka and Dable, and then then he'll be on another team. So that means he'll be in his 5th system in 6 years. Right? I just want to pick this up here. The Jalen Hurts, the all-world Mr. MVP, the greatest quarterback God's ever made. This, that, and the other. And of course, that's what I hear from the Eagle fans. Now, of course, they're 12-1. He's completing 68% of his passes. But last year, his first year in the system, okay, he was 8-7. All right. Started 15 games. He was 8-7, completed 61% of his passes, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Not good. This year's 22-3. Okay. Then of course, you go out and sign Brown. Okay. Now he has Brown. He's a second year in his system. Okay. And you go out there and you get him the beast from the East, Mr. Brown. Okay. You got Goddard, who's been injured, but you got DeVonta Smith. Right, you got one of maybe the best offensive line in all of football, and you got Brown, and of course everybody's healthy, right? Look what he's doing. This year's 22 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, completing 68% of his passes. Okay, just really, really good. His first year, okay, when he was there with Peterson, he started in 4 games. He was 1-3, completed 52% of his passes. 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Now, how phenomenal is that? 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He was 8-7 last year. How great's that? Nope. Right? Yeah. So because he has great numbers. It's this is his 3rd year in the league. Okay. Obviously, he's doing better than Daniel Jones, but then once again, Daniel Jones never had the talent around him that Jalen Hurts does. All right. And Daniel Jones has only been in the 2nd year of his system one time in the pros, and that was the 2nd year with the Clapper. Okay. but he never had the offensive line that Jalen Hurts has. He doesn't have the tight end, right? That Jalen Hurts has. He doesn't have DeVonta Smith and Brown, right? Right, like Jalen Hurts has. Okay, you know what I mean. So, but I mean, if we look, okay, I said Daniel Jones has gotten a lot better, right? Where's he at? Okay, there we go. All right. First year in the league, 19 fumbles, right? I was according to Pro Football Reference. Now he fumbled 19 times. Apparently they recovered 3 of them. So apparently, according to Pro Football Reference, I've heard all different numbers, but I mean, they got him losing 16 fumbles his first year. Then went down to 10 the second year. They recovered 3 of them. So basically he lost 7. All right. Then apparently, obviously, that was still too many. Oh, okay. All right. Well, in 2021, right, in 11 games, he fumbled 7 times. Okay. So, and we recovered 2 of them. So in 11 games, he lost 5 fumbles. So basically every other game, every 2 games, he lost 1 fumble. All right. So it got even better. Now this year in 13 games, he's fumbled 5 times. And we've recovered 2. So according to Pro Football Reference, in 13 games, he's lost 3 fumbles. So this year, he's lost 1 fumble more every 4.25 games. Okay. So basically every 4 games, he's lost a fumble this year. So he's gotten even better. All right. And one of them that he did lose, out of the 3 he did lose, was the first game of the season. The guy came from behind. Did he blow by Andrew Thomas? No, I don't know if it was Andrew Thomas or who it was. Well, it came from Daniel Jones' blind side. The guy came home, I think, just tomahawk chopped the ball out of Daniel Jones' hand, and the Titans recovered the ball. Thankfully, they didn't scoop it up and run for a touchdown, but they recovered it. I mean, so basically, since the first game of the season, Daniel Jones has lost 2 fumbles. Right? So what, 7? So we played 13 games, right? So in the last 12 games, Daniel Jones has lost 2 fumbles. All right. Then if we go to his interceptions, of course, everybody's, right? Okay. 12 interceptions his first year. Okay. Each year, his interception percentage is going down. First year's interception percentage was 2.6%. Second year, it went down to 2.2%. Third year, his interception percentage, he only threw 7 interceptions, right? But it was in 11 games. But his interception percentage went down to 1.9%. This year, his interception percentage is 1.1%. He's thrown 4 interceptions, okay, in 13 games. Right. So basically, he's throwing 1 interception basically a little over every 3 games. He's throwing an interception, 1.1%. Now, of course, we got the Commanders. That's going to be a tough game. The Vikings got a good defense, and of course, the last game of the season against the Birdies, right, the Eagles. Right? So that's going to be a tough one too. But he's only thrown 4 interceptions. 2 of them came in 1 game, right? So he's played in 13 games. He's thrown interceptions in 3 games this year, right? So basically, he's had 4 interceptions and he's lost 3 fumbles. So in 13 games, he's had 7 turnovers. Okay. Now he's gotten better. His completion percentage with no wide receivers, very porous offensive line play. Okay. This is his best. His first year completion percentage was 61.9. His second year, 62.5. Last year, 64.3. This year, he's completing 66.0% of his passes. Each year, his completion percentage has gotten a little bit better. Okay. His interception rate has gone down every year. Okay. He's also set a career high. Let's see. I don't know if they have it there or not. Rushing. I'll get 548 yards. Right. That's the most he's ever run for. and and he's still got 4 games left to go. So you can look at him maybe. I mean, he should get over 600 yards rushing. Maybe if he breaks one or something like that, he might get close to 700 yards rushing, right? Now, what do we got? 2,534 yards passing. So 4 more games, he should break. He should eclipse his career best, right? So he should have over 3,000 yards passing. As I said, porous offensive line play, basically no wide receivers, right? Something to think about. Certainly something to think about, especially if you get them on like an maybe some type of a team friendly, I say team friendly deal, but I mean, $25 million or so. Yeah, I think, as I said, I think it would be a win-win on both for Daniel Jones to come back, quarterback the Giants, okay, and for the Giants to go out and bring Daniel Jones back, because I don't know if there's a better option. I mean, you keep hearing like things like, Aaron Rodgers and stuff. Well, I mean, if you have to trade for him and then you got to pay him $40-50 million a year, well, there goes all your salary cap money. Right? So you'll have Aaron Rodgers, you won't have any trade picks, and you won't have no salary cap money, but you'll have Aaron Rodgers. Okay? Yeah. So, I mean, right. So, I mean, if you let Kenny Golladay go, if you're not going to say sign Odell Beckham Jr., if you sign Aaron Rodgers, right, that means you may not be able to sign Sterling Shepard. Yeah, Darius Slayton's probably gone, right? Obviously, no Odell Beckham Jr. You're going to let Kenny Golladay go. You just trade away Kadarius Toney, right? So, I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers here, but who's you going to throw the ball to, right? So. The best option out there might be just to basically bring back Daniel Jones, right? I mean, because he right now he seems like he's certainly the best option without doubt. As I said, if there's ever a point in time, well, I mean, especially with Daniel Jones, can another year in the same offensive system, and then if he's around for another year, it'll be the 3rd year in the same system. I mean, he'll be like a ninja out there. He can almost go out there, just dropping back the pad. He knows where everything's going. Right, he's going to have those. He's going to have the first look, second look, third look, fourth look. Coming back to the, he's going to have that. It won't be none of this 1 look, 2 look. Darius Slayton's open way down the field down there, and he doesn't look to see him. No, he's going to see him. Right, he's going to see him. Right, because he's been the same offense. Right, and as I said, if you ever get if Moses can part the Red Sea, right, the Giants can get some kind of a miracle and actually get some guys that actually can stay healthy. Could you imagine healthy wide receivers throughout the whole season? Good quality wide receivers staying healthy all season, right? There's some possibilities there. Okay, so I think definitely bringing Daniel Jones back would be the wise decision right now. All right, as I said, if the Giants were picking in the top 5. And they'd have a shot at one of the top 2-3 quarterbacks or so. Yeah, but I think it's best. But you notice it's kind of funny in this article, they're not talking about bringing Saquon Barkley back, or must bringing him back. That's going to be an interesting. I'm sure the Giants are going to try to sign him not long term. My bad. They're going to try to sign him, but it's going to be obviously. They're going to try to get him for like 10 to 12. Let's see, what Spot Track has Saquon as 12. Okay. Saquon's probably going to want 15 plus, and Saquon's going to want 15 and probably maybe and above, and the Giants are going to want to say under 15, right? So there's going to be like maybe a $5 million difference in where they're going to try to go. I mean, the Giants will probably start low. Whatever, maybe 10, 11 or something like that. And, of course, then they're going to give the number to Saquon's, agent. He's going to, oh, my God, they only want to. We're looking for 19. Are you giving us 10? Come on. You know what I mean? So then they're going to have to try to find some happy medium. But, don't look for Shane to, break the bank on Saquon. Because once again, all right, great talent, great teammate, leader, all this stuff. Phenomenal, just a phenomenal football player, phenomenal human being, somebody you want on the team. Absolutely, all this, absolutely. But once again, he's injured. I get it. It's a tough sport. I get it, But once again, he's injured, right? And that's his problem. He has a hard time staying healthy all season long. So it's kind of tough to give a guy, $17, $18 million a year as a running back when, you get injured every year, So that's going to be an interesting one. Okay. Without question. But I like that. I said, you got to get Julian Love back here, without question. Nick Gates, and I think bringing back Shep would be very, very good. Very, very good for the Giants. I said, especially if they're going to bring Daniel Jones back, because Shep and Daniel Jones got a good connection going on. And I think Shep will come back, especially on some kind of a team-friendly deal, especially because all he does is get injured. Well, guys, it's been 45 minutes. Anybody at all spend any time at all watching any of this? Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the absolute best. And when anybody spends any time at all watching the replay of this, once again, from the bottom of my heart, I greatly appreciate it. You guys absolutely rock. And as always, guys, stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.